So what? You thought just because you done with school and shit, you gonna be done learning? You thought you're gonna be done learning shit? Like it was over? It's never over, man. It never ends. It's a lifelong journey. And learning shit. There's always some shit you don't know. You basically in life get good at like maybe 8 things if you're lucky. Maybe 8. And you really, really only know like 2 or 3 of them things a lot. And for some of y'all, one of the things is not gonna be a relationship. And that's just facts. I just don't get people. I've been looking for another interesting facts video that we could do where we could have other things to look up. And so that's what I'm here for. All right, let's get into it. Play.
Sharks that are living in an active underwater volcano. Scientists discovered sharks that are living in an active underwater volcano. Divers cannot investigate because they would get burns from the acidity and heat.
Right.
There's a Japanese diver who tends an underwater Shinto shrine and has been greeted by the same fish for the past 25 years.
That's cute as fuck. What the hell is he kissing?
By the same fish for the past 25 years.
What is he kissing? What is that? I'm in deep, yo. That's an eye. I cannot figure out what kind of sea creature this is. That better not be a big ass ugly fish, dog. I'm telling y'all, if that's the eye and underneath this little line down here is the fucking mouth, that is horrifying looking.
A fish at the Vancouver Aquarium was given a prosthetic eye so it wouldn't be bullied by another fish.
Yeah, they will eat their eyes out. If their eyes are missing, they will eat the fish, bro. Straight up. It's crazy.
Toronto has around 90 fake houses. They look real on the outside, which contain transformers that convert raw, high voltage electricity to a voltage low enough to distribute through the city.
Why would you have them shaped like houses? I guess to make them look cool.
What Bugs Bunny cartoons tell us, carrots are like candy to rabbits and should only be fed as an occasional treat only to them. Having too much can result in obesity.
I did not know that.
Sean Bean was afraid of flying in helicopters during the filming of Lord of the Rings. The crew would look down at 7:30 AM and see him fully dressed in costume climbing cliffs all by himself.
That is so unfortunate. But helicopters are terrifying. For me and Skitten's first anniversary, I got us a flight with, I want to say Sundance helicopters. It's a helicopter tour place in Vegas, right? And I told her as we got up there, right? By the way, I'm scared of helicopters and even scareder of height. And you know what helicopters have they don't tell you about? Windows by your feet. We have a video somewhere of it, and I'm screaming the entire time. Unironically, she thought it was a joke. I'm like, I am shitting myself. This is awful, but I hope you enjoy it. Never again, dog.
Creature on Earth who is not symmetrical in any way is the sponge.
Explain this.
Fidel Castro was obsessed with ice cream, once consuming 18 scoops in one sitting. His love for ice cream inspired him to implement a fully fledged dairy industry in Cuba, and he even opened his own ice cream parlor.
What?
In Taiwan, every receipt for every store in the country is also a ticket to a government-run lottery with top prizes worth up to 300,000 US dollars.
That's cool.
Human hair ejected by wig makers and sent from hair salons is being used to create oil-absorbing booms for ocean oil spills.
Oh,
hair can
that's
absorb
really
329 times its own.
Right, yeah, that's super smart. We need some really good solutions for oil spills in the ocean because we still don't really have any, and it takes so long to fill, you know, when the lines break underwater. It takes so much time. You need like a diving team and all that kind of stuff to do that. There was just another oil spill that happened, man. Pollutes millions of gallons of water. It's insanity, actually.
The officer in charge of guarding Abraham Lincoln and Ford's Theater left his post to go drinking at the same bar where John Wilkes Booth was building up the courage to shoot the president.
I've heard that before.
Columbus,
I don't know if that's true.
ship aground on the shores of Jamaica, told the natives that if they didn't give him more supplies, God would eat the moon. He knew an eclipse was coming. It worked.
Breaking overnight, the statue of Christopher Columbus beheaded in Boston.
Was that like a karma post? He was like, that's what you get.
Father John Adams would turn down invitations to July 4th celebrations, believing that July 2nd, The date the Continental Congress voted for American independence was the correct date to celebrate Independence Day.
Sorry, not John Adams. I don't really know much about John Adams, but I'm talking about Christopher Columbus. I realized I said he's an asshole right after I said John Adams. I was still thinking about Christopher Columbus. Alright, I was just basking in the glory of his. I read his diary in high school, which is, I think, probably too young to get into the depths of the horrors of slavery, but I was deep in it at that point. And also read Hitler's Manifesto in high school, and then I read a lot of Karl Marx and Hobbes. We'll get into it later, but it's a great rabbit hole once you jump
During
down to
World
it.
War II, JFK was stranded in the Solomon Islands and ended up carving a message into a coconut that a native delivered to the nearest US base and saved his life.
That's cool.
In the USA,
That's fun.
you can just adopt children at any point if you don't want them anymore.
Excuse me, what? That puts a whole new horror on the, by the way, son, you're adopted conversation. That means somewhere in the US at some point, some kid had the you are adopted and unadopted conversation at the same goddamn time. Oh, that's fucked. That's wrong.
78% of people with the name Leslie are female, but in England 95% are male.
Oh, okay.
Gerald Ford's presidency caused problems for political cartoonists, as he was considered so nondescript they couldn't work out what to caricature. Tim Roth passed on the role of Snape in Harry Potter to be in Planet of the Apes.
Monkey.
In 2013, 9 lost episodes of Doctor Who from 1968 were found in the storeroom of a TV station in Nigeria.
That's cool, I guess.
Bruce Willis' appearance on Friends came from a bet he made with Matthew Perry on the set of their film Whole 9 Yards, and that he would appear for free. Finns weren't originally considered white in the United States. They were linked to Mongols and called China Swedes, due to not speaking an Indo-European language.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen is so cheap that restaurant workers had given him the nickname No Tippin' Pippen. An estimated 500,000 Americans have fake degrees.
Huh.
Billy Joel's signature song,
Wow.
Piano Man, is based on Joel's real-life experiences as a lounge musician. John the bartender, Paul the real estate novelist, and the waitress are all real people.
Cool.
Bulls are colorblind and can't see the color red. It is the movement that angers them during matador
Yeah, they don't
fights.
like being
The
taunted.
reason behind the color red is so that the blood spilled is less visible.
Yeah, they don't like being taunted at all. And you would know that if you taunt any bull at all. Make prolonged eye contact with that motherfucker. He might not like that shit either. Bulls are very territorial, son. Thus the name bull. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's a blood sport too. I've done a lot of Americans get like so shocked and appalled when they realize like the bull is basically tortured and then killed at the end of the thing. But like that's what happens.
Found out about a 24 drinking game where you drink every time he says damn it. He decided to play along and started saying the phrase as many times as he could in an episode. There is no practical way to draw our solar system to a visible scale. With Earth reduced to p diameter, Pluto would be the size of a bacterium, 1.5 miles from Jupiter. With Jupiter being the size of a period, Pluto would still be 35 feet away from it, and reduced to the size of a molecule.
Oh, that's so cool.
The oldest known spider lived for 43 years, 1974 to 2016, and did not die of old age, but was instead killed by a parasitic wasp.
God damn.
20,000 pounds of
That's the way
cheddar
to
was
go.
stolen from a Wisconsin semi-trailer in 2016. The perpetrators are suspected to be part of a crime ring, and as of 2017, have yet to be caught.
20,000 pounds of cheese. They just made mac and cheese. So you know, bro, all they do right now is sell mac and cheese, bro, out the back of a van all across America by the 5 pounds, son. Mac and cheese.
The man who played
Shit.
McGruff the crime dog was sentenced to 16 years in jail for drugs.
It wasn't just drugs. When the police raided his house, they seized 1,000 marijuana plants and 9,000 rounds of ammunition. A grenade launcher? Oh, he was paranoid as fuck, where everybody wants the dog to go down. That's wild. What the fuck? That is crazy
Humans
wild.
and the Tyrannosaurus Rex are closer on the world's timeline than the T-Rex and Stegosaurus.
Right, yeah. I like those.
The National Federation of the Blind estimates that today only 1 in 10 blind people can read Braille. That's down dramatically from the 1900s. In medieval
Fuck Braille, all my homies listen to audiobooks. Who the fuck runs this account?
times, corpses of sick people were used as catapult ammunition, as a form of biological weapon.
Absolutely. They would gut them too and use their intestines for other stuff. They would boil down their skin to use the fat for bombs, son. Y'all don't even know, bro. This shit was crazy back then, dude. Read some real military tactics and see how they would fuck people up. Like fear tactics, biological warfare, that shit is not new. It used to be way, way more bloody, bro.
There's a rare condition called spatiotemporal synesthesia where people can visualize time within space.
Cool as fuck. That is cool.
A ton of old mobile phones has 100 times the concentration of gold found in an actual gold mine. Sloths can swim 3 times faster than they can walk on land, and because of their ability to slow their heart rate to 1/3 of its normal rate, they can also hold their breath for a whopping 40 minutes underwater.
40 fucking minutes. Damn.
Home Alone was filmed in an abandoned high school, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off was filmed there too. The reason Allied forces had nets on their helmets during World War II was to reduce the helmet's shine, and it would also allow soldiers to place bits of foliage to increase their camouflage.
I
The
thought the
iconic
camouflage
jewel
was
we
fake as
found
fuck.
throughout the American Southwest was accidentally imported to the USA from Russia in 1877. There is a secret entrance to the White House through an alley on H Street. Egyptian pharaohs would publicly masturbate into the Nile as a religious ceremony.
Huh.
A study
A look of
conducted in
judgment.
2019 in the United States found that almost half of people reporting they had a food allergy are wrong. Henry
I can
Ford
see that.
anti-Semitic propaganda was likely the most sustained printed attacks on Jews the world had ever seen at his time. I regard Henry Ford as my inspiration, Hitler told the news. NASA is under presidential orders to land humans on Mars by 2033, and NASA-funded engineers are studying a way to build potential human habitats, thereby producing bricks from pressurized Martian soil. Despite
I
our
don't see
thinking
it
of the
yet.
Big Bang as the universe's let there be light moment, light did not exist until 240,000 to 300,000 years later.
That's cool as fuck.
The Amish make rag dolls that don't have faces because of the no idols commandment, and that all people are equal in the eyes of God.
Sick.
In most American universities, the only truly profitable sport is American football, while men's basketball is somewhat profitable in some schools. All other sports generally lose money.
In like high schools? No, universities. Yeah. Yeah.
Sand
that's
dollars
true.
are actually live creatures. The white sand dollars we often see on beaches are actually dead. When they're alive, they are black and have fine bristles on their underside to catch food. When the term veggie burger was used in 1976, it meant a regular ground beef hamburger topped with vegetables. There is an extinct language called Babaram which evolved separately from English. The word for dog in Babaram happens to also be dog by complete coincidence.
That's cool as fuck. That's a good place to end it. There's like 4 minutes left in that video. I think I'm gonna head out now. I think I'm gonna hit the gym with Skidden now. So this seems like a pretty good time. It's getting kind of late. And these are very chill videos, which is cool, but I don't want it to be like, go from being chill and interested to be like falling asleep. And I just think that's way too close of a line here, but hopefully you guys are chilling, because this was dope. I actually really enjoyed these. I have no more ideas with stuff. We're gonna shoot some videos for Ignite Rizzy. We talked about him a couple times on the channel, and me and Skitten are gonna shoot some League videos for him. Skitten's birthday vlog is up on my Patreon if you want to see that before it goes up on her channel, because she hasn't edited it yet. It's gonna be a while until she puts it up. Besides that, ChavezzSlovakia, thanks for coming through. I'm chilling, feeling great. Thank you guys for looking out for me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. The only days off we're taking right now are Mondays and probably Thursdays on this channel. So make sure you check out Skitten's channel for content on those days. All right, I'll holler at y'all.